Hey y'all, one of the books that I wrote was How Many Children Should I Have? You should all buy it. Go look it up on Amazon by Davis-Bedrick. No, I called it Planned Parenting. How Many Kids Should I Have? I remember I texted the title to my best friend. She was like, you wrote a book about how many kids you should have? I was like, yeah. But it's something that everybody should think about, you know? How many kids can you afford? How hard do you want to work? How hard does the mom want to work? How many diapers does she want to change? How many kids does she want to potty train? And then for the man, how many hours does he want to work at work? You have one kid, you can work one job. You have two kids, you should work two jobs. You have three kids, the man should work three jobs. Like, legit. That's how it should go. Because formula is so expensive. One bottle of formula, if you don't breastfeed, which is hard, one bottle of formula is $10. They go through 2 of those per day. So that's $20 per day per baby. That's a lot of money. So for 1 week, that's, yeah, $140 on formula if you have a baby. These are things that people need to think about, which I think most people don't think about it. Well, I think that's why I swear, like, most of the world is abstaining from sex, or that's why abortions are, like, record high. Because breastfeeding is really challenging. It takes a lot of patience. I had 3 kids. I did formula for all 3. Because I don't know. I couldn't figure out the breastfeeding thing. Or maybe I wasn't motivated. Because when you go in the hospital, they start them out on formula. So you kind of just keep that going. Which, yeah, does that mean, like, in a sense, yeah, the system is screwing them over from the beginning. Because they're not forcing, like back in the day, before formula, women had to breastfeed. And they were bonded with their baby from birth. Now, the hospital freaking, like, takes your kid, you know, and they have these weird rules in place where sometimes they want to keep your kid 1 night or 2 nights after you have them. And I swear, yeah, that might be partly marketing by the formula companies, that they want to get the baby hooked on formula. They want to get the mom thinking that formula is the better option, so they're going to spend tons of money on formula. $140 a week, people. 1 baby. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you know what formula is? It's basically soy milk with, like, a bunch of weird additives and just, like, weird, like, what do they put in that? I don't know. But all 3 of my kids turned out fine, just being on formula for their first year of life. But it's something to think about. Like, if you want a kid, you need, like, $10,000 in savings or a really good job. Or, you know, the grandparents need to have a lot of money, you know. Or you need to have some really good babysitters in place and set up so that both parents can work. These are things that most people don't think about, but they don't want to think about all that. They're just like, you know what? Oops, I got pregnant. I'll have an abortion. Because I don't want to think about how much money I'm going to have to spend on formula, all the hours I'm going to have to work. No one wants to put in that work. You know, because so many Americans are lazy now. Like, yeah, the fact that I want just 1 kid, does that mean that I'm lazy? I don't know. I mean, at least I have 1. I was just thinking about it. I'm, like, half lazy. Like, I'm not so lazy that I don't want any kids, but I'm not, like, just dying to work my butt off that I want more than 1, you know? I don't know. I mean, it's doable. Like, I had 2 kids in my first marriage, my first marriage. And, you know, I mean, it's doable. You know, God gives you grace to do anything that He wants you to do. And you just got to have faith that you can. But when I had 2 kids, I had my mom's help. So, for any who don't know my story, I kind of burned that bridge with my mom. Because she married a child molester, and so, and I think he messed with, well, I don't know if he messed with both of my daughters, but for sure he messed with the older one, so, and then I would write about it in my blogs, and it pissed my mom off, so now she's, like, perpetually mad at me. Please pray for me, y'all, that my mom will forgive me, and that maybe she'll help me again if I decide to have more than 1 child. But you have to have help. You know, moms can't just go it alone, do it on their own. With 1 kid, you can. But any amount over one, no. You need like a best friend or a sibling or a mom or somebody to help you. Just like for support, you know, you just need more. You need to feel like you're supported more. Obviously, it's good if the man and the woman are like both just love kids. You know, it's funny. Francis Chan, I was listening to him yesterday. He is like the most holy man I have ever known in my entire life. The most Christian, the most godly. And he himself said that he hates babies. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like thinking if he hates babies, then I bet all men do. But then, so then if all men hate babies, why should a woman give a man a baby? Right? But he said he loved his kids once they got to like the 2 or the 3-year-old stage. But he legit said he hates babies. And I was like, that's so, it's kind of depressing. Because, yeah. So what, only women love babies? I loved my baby. I loved the dickens out of him. I was just like, this is the most wonderful, amazing little creation of God that's ever been made. You know? Which I wonder, though, one comedian that I watched, she said, I'm such an idiot. I'm giving my wife a second baby. A second thing that she can love more than me. So maybe that's why men hate babies, because then the woman loves the baby more than the man, and then the man's jealous. I don't know. I don't know, but men need to not be so selfish and not be like, oh, all the attention should be on me. Like, no. Like, your woman is going to be paying attention to you and the baby. You know, a woman who has a baby or kid, she can't worship her man anymore. But why should a man be worshipped in the first place? Why should any human being require another human being to give them 24/7 attention and just dote on them and not be distracted by anybody? But I think that, like, that's a thing, that's an issue in a lot of families, you know. But normally, the man's busy at work. So if the man's working like 60 hours a week, then he's busy with his job, and the woman's busy with her baby or multiple children. And it works, you know? And that works. So, and that's usually what happens with young families. You know, the woman obsesses over her babies, and the man obsesses over his job. And he should, because you need a lot of money for the baby, you know? Formula is expensive, diapers are expensive, and I wonder a little bit if that's like a thing, that's like a conspiracy theory to discourage people from having children. The diapers and formula are so expensive, which it's working. I mean, how many babies are there currently alive in America? What, I'm going to say, I don't even know. It's probably some like incredibly low number, like 1,000. How many babies do you think are actually alive right now all across the United States? What if it's only 1,000? And that's really sad. That's really sad. You know, it's partly women are like pansies now. They don't want to deal with child labor, and C-sections are crazy. You'll probably survive, but it hurts. It's like the most painful thing you could possibly go through in your entire life. The pain after a C-section. That's why I'm a warrior, y'all. I've done natural childbirth. I've done a C-section, and I've done my very first baby I did. It's probably like morphine they put in my IV, but I honestly didn't really feel anything. It was great. But I was always concerned if that messed up my daughter, because she was, I don't know, you could say she was a little bit behind on her verbal development. So was it literally just because I did the morphine in my IV when I was giving birth to her? I don't know. I hope not. I mean, but that's the thing about motherhood, and that's why so many women avoid it. They're like, they don't want to live with that guilt. You know, like what you do, every single little tiny decision that you make can affect that human being for the rest of their life. It's insane. Yeah, and then just the guilt that you might feel, you know? Anyways, pray for my oldest daughter, that she'll be smart. You know, obviously it's important that kids are smart. And I think that that's the thing. There's another conspiracy theory. That's why, like, people wonder why Americans are so freaking stupid now. I mean, we are, what, we're like one of the dumbest countries now? It's stuff like that. Stuff like that. I mean, it's a good idea to have less pain in your child labor, but is that what's making everybody stupid? Mom's putting morphine in their IV when the baby's getting born, you know, or like the shots. I don't know. Just consider it. All the different medical stuff that we do to pregnant mothers, to mothers in labor, to babies. Yeah, like, are we trying to make Americans stupid? Like, why? I don't think we should want Americans to be the smartest human beings on the face of the planet. How about we stop trying to make them stupid? I mean, come on, people. Anyways, all that to say, think carefully before you have a baby with anyone. They better be either really rich or an extremely hard worker. And if you're a woman, if you want more than one, you better be a really hard worker. Even one, I mean, it's still hard work. But more than one, yeah, and you're going to want help. So, anyways. God loves y'all. God loves y'all. God bless. Bye.